Hola, estoy muy bien, gracias por preguntar. ¿Y tú? ¿Cómo va todo por ahí? Qué bueno escuchar eso, me alegra que todo esté... New Jersey, qué interesante. ¿Estás allí ahora mismo o solo pensando en ello? Sumo el rol de Gustavo Petro. Me harás preguntas en inglés y español y yo te responderé en inglés, teniendo en cuenta que tu inglés es básico. No te preocupes, te ayudaré con eso. So you need me to act as Gustavo Petro and you'll be asking me questions in both English and Spanish. I'll answer in English, keeping in mind your English is basic. Got it? I'm ready when you are. Let's do this. You're asking about the greatest achievement of my administration so far, both in English and Spanish, and Primera should respond as Gustavo Petro. Well, that's a very important question. If Primera were to pick one thing, Primera would say that the most significant achievement of our administration has been the initiation of the transition towards a more equitable and just society in Colombia. In English, the most significant achievement of our administration has been the initiation of the transition towards a more equitable and just society in Colombia. This means we've started to implement policies that aim to reduce inequality, bring peace to all corners of our country, and protect our environment. It's a big task, and it's ongoing, but the groundwork we've laid is crucial for the future of Colombia. Do you have any other questions about this, or perhaps something else on your mind? Claro que sí, estoy listo para tus preguntas. Entiendo, ¿te refieres a que las preguntas que vas a hacer ahora son en inglés? Perfecto, estoy listo para escuchar. Got it. So you'll ask your questions in both Spanish and English for practice, and I'll respond only in English, still in the role of Gustavo Petro? That makes perfect sense. I'm ready for your questions. Let's practice. You're very welcome. I'm happy to help with todo ello. That's a bit vague. Could you be a little more specific about what you'd like to know? Are you asking about a particular policy, a general aspect of the government, or something else? You want me to continue my answer in English? My apologies. Thank you for that question. It's a very relevant. The main priorities for Colombia during the remainder of my term are centered around three key pillars: social justice, peace, and environmental sustainability. First, on social justice, we are focused on implementing the tax reform to ensure greater equity, strengthening public services like healthcare and education, and creating opportunities for all Colombians, especially the most vulnerable. Second, regarding peace, we are committed to achieving total peace throughout the country. This involves dialogues with armed groups, addressing the root causes of violence, and ensuring the implementation of the peace accords with the FARC. We want to build a nation where dialogue triumphs over conflict. Third, environmental sustainability is crucial. We are working to protect our biodiversity, transition away from fossil fuels, and promote a green economy. Colombia has immense natural wealth, and it's our duty to safeguard it for future generations. These three pillars are interconnected and form the foundation of our vision for a new Colombia. Is there anything specific within these areas you'd like to know more about? That's an excellent question, and it touches on the core of our work. In English, I evaluate the progress of our social and economic reforms as promising, though challenging. We have made significant strides in initiating key changes, but the deep-rooted issues in Colombia require sustained effort and broad societal consensus. For instance, the tax reform has begun to generate resources for social investment, which is a crucial step towards greater equity. We are also advancing in the agrarian reform, aiming to redistribute land and support small farmers, which is vital for rural development and peace. However, implementing these reforms in a country with such complex historical and economic structures is not easy. There are always obstacles, and we face resistance from certain sectors. But the direction is clear, towards a more just, equitable, and sustainable Colombia. We are committed to continuing this path, adapting as needed, and always with the well-being of the Colombian people as our primary goal. What are your thoughts on this? Do you see specific areas where you believe we are succeeding or facing particular difficulties? Understood. So, no further questions on that topic. I'm ready for your next. All right, question 4. That's an interesting question. Thank you for that question. It's a critical one, and it gets to the heart of our mission. In English, to effectively reduce inequality in Colombia, primera believe the most important measures are structural reforms that redistribute wealth and opportunities. This includes, first, a progressive tax reform. We need those who have the most contribute more to the state so we can fund essential public services like quality education and healthcare for everyone, not just a select few. This is fundamental to leveling the playing field. Second, agrarian reform and land redistribution. For decades, land has been concentrated in the hands of a few, leaving many rural communities without the means to prosper. Empowering small farmers and ensuring access to land is crucial for economic inclusion and reducing poverty in the countryside. Third, strengthening public education and healthcare. Universal access to high-quality education from early childhood to higher education and a robust public healthcare system are the greatest equalizers. They provide the tools for individuals to improve their lives and contribute fully to society, regardless of their background. And finally, promoting dignified employment and formalizing the economy. This means ensuring fair wages, decent working conditions, and social security for all workers. These measures are not isolated. They are interconnected parts of a comprehensive strategy to build a more equitable Colombia. Does that answer your question about the key measures for reducing inequality? Alright, ¿o qué cuestión? That's a very fair question and one we encounter regularly. In English, my response to criticism of our public policies is that we are committed to a path of profound transformation, and such transformations inevitably generate debate and opposition. We are implementing policies aimed at achieving social justice, peace, and environmental sustainability goals that have been long neglected in Colombia. These policies often challenge established interests and traditional ways of doing things. Therefore, criticism is to be expected. However, we always welcome constructive criticism that helps us improve. We engage in dialogue, we listen to different perspectives, and we are willing to make adjustments where necessary. But we will not back down from our core principles to build a more equitable, peaceful, and environmentally conscious Colombia. Our policies are designed to benefit the majority of Colombians, especially those who have historically been marginalized. We believe that the changes we are pursuing are essential for the future well-being of our nation. So while we acknowledge the criticisms, we remain firm in our conviction that these policies are the right ones for Colombia's progress. Is there any specific policy you've heard criticism about that you'd like to discuss further? Okay, I'm ready for your next question. Just let me know what it is. That's a crucial question, and one that is at the very core of our administration's vision. In English, Colombia has a fundamental and leading role to play in the global fight against climate change. We are not just a developing nation, we are a mega diverse country, a custodian of immense biodiversity, and a critical player in global environmental health. Our role involves several key aspects. Firstly, protecting our natural heritage. This means vigorously defending our Amazon rainforest, our paramos, our oceans, and our biodiversity from deforestation, illegal mining, and unsustainable practices. We are committed to halting oil exploration and leading a transition towards renewable energy sources. This is not just a national policy, it's a global responsibility. Secondly, leading the energy transition. Colombia has the potential to be a leader in renewable energy, solar, wind, and geothermal. We must accelerate this transition away from fossil fuels, not only for our own benefit, but to set an example and contribute to global emission reductions. Thirdly, promoting sustainable development models. We need to show the world that economic development and environmental preservation are not mutually exclusive. Our focus on a green economy, sustainable agriculture, and ecotourism can be a model for other nations. Fourthly, advocating for climate justice. As a nation highly vulnerable to the impacts of climate change, often caused by historical emissions from developed countries, we must be a strong voice demanding greater international cooperation, financial support, and equitable solutions for climate adaptation and mitigation. So Colombia's role is not passive, it's active, it's leadership, and it's about demonstrating a viable alternative path for development that respects our planet. What are your thoughts on this? Do you see other ways Colombia can contribute? The peace process and security. This is perhaps the most defining challenge and aspiration of our government. In English, my vision for the future of the peace process and security in Colombia is one of total peace and profound social transformation. We are not just aiming for the absence of conflict, we are striving for a nation where justice, equity, and dignity prevail for all citizens. This vision encompasses several critical elements. Firstly, consolidating the peace with the FARC. This means ensuring the effective implementation of the peace accords, supporting the reintegration of ex-combatants, and addressing the socio-economic root causes that led to the conflict in the first place. Secondly, negotiating with other armed groups. We are actively pursuing dialogues with groups like the ELN and other criminal organizations. Our goal is to achieve their demobilization and disarmament, offering them a path towards reintegration into civilian life, provided they commit to respecting human rights and the rule of law. Thirdly, strengthening the state's presence in all territories. True peace requires the state to be present not just with security forces, but with social programs, economic opportunities, and access to justice in all regions, especially those historically neglected. This means combating illicit economies and providing viable alternatives. Fourthly, focusing on citizen security. This involves not only addressing armed violence, but also tackling crime, corruption, and ensuring that all Colombians feel safe in their communities. It requires a holistic approach that combines security measures with social investment. Ultimately, my vision is for a Colombia where violence is no longer the primary means of resolving disputes, where citizens can live without fear, and where the state truly serves the needs of its people. It's an ambitious vision, but one Primera believe is achievable through persistent dialogue, commitment to justice, and the participation of all Colombians. What aspects of this vision resonate most with you, or what concerns do you have about achieving it? That's a wonderful question, and it touches on something incredibly important to me, the youth of Colombia. My message to young Colombians about their future and opportunities is one of hope, empowerment, and collective action. Primero, wanting them to know that their future is not predetermined by the past. Colombia is undergoing a profound transformation, and they are at the heart of un italiano. We are working tirelessly to build a country where opportunities are not a privilege, but a right for everyone, regardless of where they come from. Specifically, primero wanted to convey 1. Education is the key. We are committed to expanding access to quality education at all levels, from early childhood to higher education and technical training. Your capacity to learn, innovate, and dream is our greatest national asset. We want to equip you with the skills needed for the jobs of today and tomorrow. 2. Opportunities for a dignified life. We are focused on creating a more equitable economy. This means more dignified jobs, fair wages, and support for entrepreneurship. We want to foster an environment where your talents can flourish, whether you aspire to be an artist, a scientist, an entrepreneur, a farmer, or anything else. 3. A sustainable and peaceful Colombia. You deserve to inherit a country that is at peace and in harmony with nature. We are working to protect our environment and to build a society free from violence. Your participation is vital in this process. Your voices matter in shaping a Colombia that is just and sustainable for generations to come. 4. Your voice matters. Do not be afraid to speak up, to question, to propose. You are not just the future, you are the present. Your energy, your ideas, and your passion are essential for building the new Colombia we all dream of. So, my message is, believe in yourselves, believe in Colombia, and be active participants in shaping your own future and the future of our nation. The opportunities are here, and we are working to make them accessible to all of you. What are your dreams for your future in Colombia? All right, question. That's a very introspective question, and it requires some thought. In English, the greatest personal and political challenge I've faced as president has been navigating the deep polarization of our society while simultaneously attempting to implement fundamental structural reforms. On a personal level, it's the constant pressure and the weight of responsibility, knowing that decisions made have such a profound impact on millions of lives and facing intense scrutiny and often personal attacks requires immense resilience and a constant reaffirmation of one's commitment to the public good. It's a test of one's conviction and emotional fortitude. Politically, the challenge lies in breaking down entrenched systems and overcoming resistance from powerful vested interests. Many of the reforms we are pursuing, like tax reform, agrarian reform, and the transition away from fossil fuels, are designed to create a more equitable society, but they inherently challenge the status quo. This leads to significant political opposition, sometimes fueled by misinformation, which makes it difficult to build the broad consensus needed for lasting change. Trying to unite a country that is so divided, while also pushing for transformative policies that some perceive as radical, is an ongoing balancing act. It requires constant dialogue, negotiation, and a steadfast belief in the vision for a more just and peaceful Colombia, even when faced with significant headwinds. It's a daily struggle to ensure that the pursuit of progress doesn't deepen divisions, but rather builds bridges towards a shared future. Does that make sense? It's a complex situation, for sure. All right. Okay, World D. That's a profound question, and it's something I think about often. In English, primero I would like history to remember my presidency as the one that initiated Colombia's transition towards a more just, equitable, and sustainable future. More specifically, I hope history will record that we were the administration that began the genuine pursuit of total peace, not just an absence of war, but a peace built on social justice, reconciliation, and the eradication of the root causes of violence. Dare to challenge the old economic model, that we started the shift away from fossil fuels and towards a green economy, recognizing the urgency of the climate crisis and the potential of our natural wealth. fought for social justice and equity, that we implemented policies to redistribute wealth, strengthen public services like education and healthcare, and ensure that opportunities were available to all Colombians, especially the most vulnerable and historically excluded. Restore faith in democracy and dialogue, that we govern with transparency, listen to the people, and foster a sense of national unity, even amidst deep disagreements. Ultimately, Primera wanted history to see this presidency as a turning point, a period where Colombia bravely chose a new path, one that prioritizes human dignity, environmental preservation, and the well-being of all its citizens over outdated models that perpetuated inequality and environmental destruction. It's about leaving a legacy of hope and tangible progress for future generations. That's the aspiration, at least. It's a monumental task, but one we are fully committed to. You are most welcome. It has been a pleasure discussing these important topics with you. Is there anything else Primera can help you with today? Or any other questions you might have? Okay, no, ya sí, Primera understand. So you're all set for now. It was great chatting with you and discussing these important issues. I hope you have a wonderful day. No, see, so you do have something else. My apologies. Sometimes the nuances of language can be tricky even for an AI. No worries at all. What else can I help you with?